If you're a woman who feels like you literally cannot slow down, that your life is always chaotic, you're always on go, we need to have a conversation, because I am she and she is me. You can still build the life of your dreams and have the life of your dreams, even if you slow down and take your time. Oftentimes we feel like there's this goalpost that we have to meet. There are deadlines that we make for ourselves that we have to meet. And we end up running ourselves into the ground and burning ourselves out, all for an invisible deadline. We are literally in competition with nobody but ourselves. So in today's episode of Love Yourself Like a Woman, we are going to discuss how to live a less chaotic life. Chaotic life is one that feels disorganized, overwhelmed, lacking stability and structure. It often feels very stressful, filled with a lot of stress, filled with unfinished tasks, things all over the place, unpredictable schedules, and a sense of feeling out of control. This can stem from external factors like work or scheduling, or internal factors like procrastination, lack of planning, and emotional instability. It recently dawned on me that, like, girl, you don't have to be everywhere and you don't have to do everything. So today I want to talk to you all about how I am de-chaosing my life, literally rebranding my life. I no longer want to live a life that feels overwhelming and stressed, simply because of the pressures that I'm putting on myself. Nobody else is putting these pressures on me. So before we get into today's video, hey girl, hey, my name is Sonia Star J, and on my little corner of the YouTube, we talk about self-care, wellness, personal development. Sometimes I sprinkle in some trending topics, but overall, over here, we are designing our dream life, and that starts internally. Now, I didn't actually realize that I was the cause of my chaos. I really had to get real with myself and take some accountability for the way that my life was turning out. Now, in my standards, I feel like I live a pretty good life. Again, I don't have any reason to be stressed out, but I have, for some reason, convinced myself that I'm in a rush to get somewhere when I'm not. And the first step in overcoming a life of chaos is really identifying the root cause of why you're feeling like your life is chaotic. For me, I will say that oftentimes I say yes to too many things. My husband told me years ago, you need to stop saying yes to too much stuff. Over the last month, I told y'all in a recent video that I went to a lot of networking events. But on top of the networking events, I was also outside doing a lot of stuff. And then when I got home, I was beat. I was burnt out and depleted. I had to take a day off of work just to sleep. I don't think I've taken a nap in such a long time, but I napped so hard that day. And with saying yes to too many commitments made me realize that maybe I lack some boundaries, and having set boundaries and having strong boundaries will help you to feel like your life is less chaotic. When you feel like you're being pulled in every direction, it's hard for you to stay and feel centered. So really look at what's causing chaos in your life, because it might just be you. It might be the fact that you have poor time management. I am really talking to myself with this one. My friend told me to start time blocking, and I tried it. It's just, I don't know. I really need to get better at being consistent with the habits that I'm working on. Some habits stick. Some habits do stick, and then there are others where it's just like, I might need to find an alternative to this. When I have too many options, that's when things start to get a little bit flustered for me. So there are two things with that. Establishing a routine. When I get into a routine of things, then it becomes easier. It took me a minute to really establish my morning routine and my night routine. And so even when I fall off of my routine, I know how to get back on it. Like, I know the steps. But having some things in your life that are just predictable, that you know are going to happen, will help you to have stability in your life. Like, I know that on certain days I'm going to come home and I'm going to make dinner. And I say on some days because I have decided to take Friday as my self-care day, and I don't cook on Fridays. Figure it out. But having my skincare routine has helped me so much. I'm so excited that my skin is clearing up now. I'm not having no breakouts because I've established a actual skincare routine. So make sure that you are establishing a simple routine that fits your lifestyle. Now, I was talking about the time blocking I am not good with digital planning, digital time blocking, like using Google Calendar. I'm not good at it. I am much better at writing things down. I live out of my planner. It's blocked out by time, so I can write in like, at this time I'll be doing this. This is when I'll be done with it. And it's better for me to write it out and see it. I also love me a sticky note. Okay, colored sticky notes are life. I also love highlighters, so I be highlighting blue, green, purple, yellow. So making sure that you are prioritizing and planning things. It can get a little overwhelming when you are trying to plan things with other people. I am a person who likes to plan ahead of time, like months in advance. I'm the type of person where I'm going to call you 2 months in advance and ask you what you're doing on your birthday so that I don't book it up. Like, I like to know ahead of time. And if you are a person who is not really good at planning, maybe try it out. I feel like doing things on the fly, yeah, it's spontaneous, but it could also make you feel like things are chaotic. And with that too, it does give you like that dopamine hit, like, oh, it's just a rush, but also it can be spiking your cortisol. So maybe try to like balance things out and then jump back into your spontaneous events. One thing that I really had to learn was not to take on other people's things and to set boundaries. I am the oldest daughter of 5 children and the only girl. And so I don't want to say groomed, I was conditioned to believe that everybody else's problems were mine. And I needed to help with everything. And I had to be in charge of everything. And I was responsible for everything and everybody. And then one day I woke up and was like, actually, I don't want that life. Like, I don't want that for myself anymore. And I'm leaving. So I drove across the country to escape my responsibilities that ended up following me to North Carolina anyway, but that's a different story for another time. Remember to set boundaries with people and things that drain your energy, drain your time, and cause you to neglect yourself. As I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking to myself too, because this is still something that I am in the process of learning. Other people's emergencies aren't necessarily always your responsibility. It's okay to say, no, I can't handle that. No, I don't have time to help you with this. No, I cannot be your emotional trauma dumping bucket. Sorry, you're gonna have to call somebody else for that. It is hard to do. It is so challenging. Like, I found myself, even when I'm in the middle of doing something, if somebody calls me, I immediately answer the phone because I want to make sure they're okay. I really got to unlearn that, because people gonna be all right. Everything is not an emergency. And if you find that you're a person who overcommits to things, find a way to simplify your commitments. Like, if you said yes to way too many things, call up them people and say, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it. Become okay with canceling plans with people, especially if your health depends on it. A lot of times we want to be seen as the reliable person, and we want to be seen as the person that shows up. But if you stressed out and burnt out and literally running on E, you're not showing up as your best self for the person or for yourself. So not that you owe people an explanation for taking care of yourself, but just let people know, like, hey, sorry, I overbooked myself. I'm actually not going to be able to commit to this thing. People will be all right. And even with trying to plan and prioritize and establish routines, understand that like everything is not going to be perfect, right? So you do got to allow some flexibility into your life just to make some wiggle room for things that might not go as planned. And that helps too, because I'm a planner, and if things don't go as planned, I literally get so overwhelmed because I did not think about an alternative. Like, y'all literally would have been cracking up watching me on my wedding day. I was in shambles because it was raining, and I was not planning for rain. We spent a whole year planning that day for it to rain randomly out of nowhere. Y'all, it was crazy. But that's because I hadn't planned for rain. And there are so many other instances where it's just like, it's okay. Life is going to happen, and you don't always have control over that, and that's okay. So that's another thing too, is releasing control over the outcomes of things. Oftentimes, me personally, I don't know if this is anybody else out there, let me know if this is you too, but when we try to control everything, every little piece of life, and things don't go the way that we want, it causes us to be anxious and overwhelmed and feel like things are out of our control. Become okay with things not being in your control. Learn to just go with the flow of things. And it's kind of contradictory to the point that I was making before, but there's a way to establish balance. Like, you can plan, but also allow wiggle room for things to not go the way that you plan, and to be okay in your nervous system when things just go a different way. For me, I have to like coach myself and tell myself like, okay, this isn't what I planned, but that's okay. Things are still going to work out, even though this is not what I had on the agenda. This is not how I pictured this going, but it's going to be all right. I'm still going to make the best out of it, and it's still going to be a good experience. And with that, when I'm experiencing moments like that, some of the things that I'm doing much better at these days, I'm so proud of myself. Somebody clap. Is really meditating and my self-talk. Now, this is something that I've always done. I've always journaled. I'm a writer. I've always journaled, but the meditation was a challenge for me. It was hard for me to sit in silence, and I didn't even realize that it was a challenge, but just meditating and positive self-talk, which is something that I've always done as well. But positive self-talk and just taking a moment to kind of breathe through moments that don't feel calm, that feel unsettling, that feel overwhelming. Like, just breathing through it and say, okay, I'm safe. This is not life altering. This experience is not about to cause me any harm. I'm okay. Everything's going to be okay. And I literally feel when my body shifts out of that state of anxiety and fight or flight to a state of calm and ease. And I'm just like, okay, this is okay. This is not life-threatening. I'm not about to check out of here. Everything's okay. Everyone's okay. I can relax. So really having those tools for self-regulation and nervous system regulation and self-care and mindfulness are so important to have. Now, in the beginning of the video, I was talking to y'all about decluttering. Now, y'all see my wall behind me, right? I mentioned in a previous video that I started a new project. I am decorating my house. I have been going through this phase, I guess you could say, of making my house a home. I've been here for 3 years and never really allowed myself to unpack my stuff or to put things up on the walls or to decorate. And so I've been going through all of my closets and decluttering and taking things out and throwing things away and reorganizing. And it has allowed me to feel so much more fresh, so much more just like free. I guess I can't really put a name to the feeling that I've been feeling, but the one day I woke up and my room was just like super organized, and I'm just like, wow. Like, I woke up and the first thing I seen was just like an organized room and an organized bed, and I was just like, dang, this feels good. And not that I keep my space disorganized often, but I notice that when I'm going through something and when I'm overwhelmed and I'm experiencing a lot of chaos in my life, that shows in my house. It shows in my habits as far as like cooking and cleaning and organizing. And I notice that when I'm present, I'm more present, and I'm seeing like, oh no, I can't believe I let my space get like this, and I just start cleaning up and picking things up and putting them where they go and being more mindful and again present, like, okay, I just put this here, let me go ahead and put that back, so that everything is not piling up on top of each other throughout the week. I'm just taking my time and putting my makeup away. Like, after I'm done doing my makeup, just going ahead and putting things back in the drawer so that it's just not piling up and making me feel crazy and chaotic. It's been challenging for me because I grew up in kind of like a cluttered environment in some homes because we moved around a lot. Like, not in every home that I lived in it was cluttered, and I did have some examples of like organization, but in some homes that I lived in, it was very unorganized, very cluttered, And now that I'm able to look back at it like, oh, well, a cluttered home means a cluttered mind. And so I have to give grace to the people that I lived with and also give grace to myself, because now I can look at my room and say, okay, my room is a hot ass mess. What am I feeling right now? How am I feeling? And I ask for help. Like, I told my husband, like, hey, I need some help. This ain't working. And so we are hiring a cleaner to come in and help me organize, and he also cleans as well. But I just need help with getting back to a base and ground zero. It's okay to say I can't do this by myself. It is okay to ask for help and to let somebody come in and help you get things the way that you want. I've been doing a really good job as far as decorating and getting my things back to a base and just getting things the way that I like. But I do want the experience of having somebody come in and do the things that I don't necessarily know how to do or have the time to do. And then the last thing, of course, is just going to be focusing on your health. Like, if you are eating things that are spiking your insulin and spiking your cortisol, like lots of sugar and processed foods, then that's going to disturb your gut health, which then impacts your mental health. And I notice when I eat things that are processed, I feel like crap because I was eating crap. And I don't know if it's like you get older and your body becomes more sensitive to certain things, but your girl cannot eat certain stuff. I'm very sensitive to things lately. So eating a nutritious diet, like when I eat a whole week's worth of whole foods, I really feel like I can take on the world. And my smoothies and my salads, y'all, you really can't tell me nothing when I'm really on top of my healthy habits. Girl, listen. But with that, you have to create a baseline of what those habits look like, what those routines look like. I have like a base of recipes that I make to reset my gut, reset my mind, and reset my body. We know how to do a cleanse, okay? We know how to eat right. We know how to eat good. So you will experience a lot more mental and emotional clarity when you are focusing on eating right and getting enough sleep. I feel a lot better when I'm getting enough sleep in my life, and I don't feel like I'm all over the place and rushing to, like, give yourself time to do things and get places. This is a note to Sonya Star J. Give yourself time to get places and don't procrastinate on things. Okay, like, note to self, because I will really sit somewhere knowing that I gotta be there in 20 minutes and I'll sit there for 10. I don't know what it is. I definitely need to bring that up to my doctor or my therapist, because it's really it's really a thing. And I embarrass myself and I disappoint myself. So that is something that I'm working on. If you are a person who struggled with that, please leave me some tips, because your girl, I really want to get better, y'all. Like, I really, really want to do better. I am not perfect. We come on here and we talk about our healthy habits, but honey, when I tell you there are some things that I'm really struggling with, that is truly one of my worst downfalls. The other day I was on the phone with my brother, and he told me that he likes to show up to places 10 minutes early because he don't like not being on time. I was so jealous because I'm like, is that like a skill that I need to develop and work on? Like, how do I learn how to do that? Because I really be wanting to be on time places. Like, I really be wanting to be on time and get to places on time. There's just something in me that's just like, no, we're gonna sit here. Well, I know I was diagnosed with ADHD, but you know, I really want to get better, so leave me some tips. But again, if you feel like you are a person who is living a chaotic life, it does not have to be like that forever. Like, you do not have to live a life in chaos. You have a choice. You can change your life. If you want to create your best life, you have to work for it. And this is just one of those things. You're going to have to make some sacrifices. You're going to have to make some changes. And of course, these things don't happen overnight, but they can happen. Y'all, this series is so good. I'm so excited. Like, I've just been loving coming on here and chatting with y'all like this. This is so freaking good. So if you enjoyed this conversation too, please give me a thumbs up. Okay, please give me a thumbs up, because it be so hard in these YouTube streets to get likes and comments. If y'all here, can you please comment and let me know you here and you watching? And if you, again, are not subscribed to the channel, become a part of the community, become one of my loved ones, and subscribe. I will be posting a video on nervous system regulation and how I'm regulating my nervous system. And so I will go ahead and post that up here for you to check out. If you enjoyed this video, you will definitely enjoy that video as well. So I'll see you over there. Bye.